I have a question for Chris, because I read this morning that there are some controversies on Internet.org when it enters the Indian market. Some of the companies already pulled out of the websites that can be accessed through Internet.org. So what are your takes on that?
So we launched the Internet.org app of free basic services in India recently. There is a sort of proceeding in India right now that is a very hot and heavy topic in the public press around potential over-the-top regulation, and it's being related to net neutrality. There are a couple things going on. So our approach to the Internet.org app is a set of free basic services. That is something that we would be happy to partner with any operator on. In that arrangement, we're not paying the operator to enable that set of free basic services. They're really betting that it's going to bring more people online and people will start consuming more things, which is good for their business. So it's a very simple arrangement, especially on the commercial front. The other thing going on in India right now is one of the operators launched, it was Airtel, launched something called Airtel Zero, I believe. And that's more of a sponsored data model where the content that is zero rated to the end user, but it's the content provider that's paying the carrier to include that. And so it's a different thing, and it's very sort of convoluted in this overall conversation about net neutrality. Our view is, so we're pro net neutrality, but we also think that if a zero-rated approach where you've removed this affordability barrier is great for bringing people online, especially in markets that have low internet penetration.
I definitely understand your point, just again going back to the net neutrality discussion, and I think it's a really strong argument against regulating the internet through Title II. And regardless, I don't think it's going to be an issue for Facebook but I guess is there a middle ground somewhere between no regulation and Title II to I guess not protect, but ensure fairness to smaller over-the-top providers who are just starting their business and are looking to make sure it's not incredibly costly for them, or they're not put at an unfair disadvantage relative to over-the-top service providers that are very well established and have good relationships with the carriers.
Have you ever seen a carrier stop anybody getting on the internet or over the top? No. Why is that? Let's say Verizon did that here. You go to the cable company or you go to your wireless phone. There's no carrier that has done that. It's a problem about nothing, this net neutrality thing. That's number one, and you got to understand it. Number two, is there a middle ground? There always is a middle ground. Tom Wheeler put out a proposal, the guy that's head of the FCC, that the carriers and most of the over-the-top people said, we can live with that. Obama's staff got a hold of Obama. He makes a big speech. Next thing you know, we have all this regulation that's now in a bunch of lawsuits. It's crazy to me. That's number one. Number two, even if, it's funny to me that so many people, because it's such a religious debate about nothing. You look at the last 30, 35 years, it's the best growth we've ever had. And it's this religious debate that has been caused by a few people who have, by the way, a different axe to grind. More around peering. And then it is about, quote unquote, net neutrality. So I look at it and go, yeah, is there a middle ground? Sure. If you really get a Comcast or an AT&T or somebody that blocks some little guys, they're going to be a lawsuit for sure. Can the FCC step in? For sure. Do we need some set of huge regulation to solve that? No. Frankly, he has the power today to do that. He can deny licenses, et cetera. The second thing is I don't think any carrier out there is that dumb to block somebody that's creating innovation for them and is creating usage for them. And so you got this religious debate for no real reason, in my opinion. And matter of fact, let me just add one other thing. Some of the people pushing this are really kind of dumb, frankly, because I'll tell you why, what's going to happen. And this is just Andy's opinion. If you get to the point where you have so much regulation, those carriers can't make a return, back to your original point, what will happen is they'll flip, like India's done, I don't know about China, has done, a lot of Europe, and it'll end up being usage-based at home, just like it is on wireless. And now all of a sudden your $9 Netflix is going to cost you $150. And so I think it's kind of like be careful what you wish for.